Let's start on the ground. Let's start on the ground. Not that far on the ground, Pam. Pick any seated pose that feels comfortable, whether it's cross-legged or straight-legged or kneeling or whatever sounds good. Okay, all right, so let's start with a little diaphragmatic breathing. So all that means is that the diaphragm is moving up and down. And you can generally tell if the diaphragm is moving up and down if the belly goes out and in. If we really want to focus on the diaphragmatic breathing, think about movement in all four quadrants of your core. And you can put 2 fingers in the front and your thumbs in the back. And as you breathe in, see if you can feel expansion in all of those quadrants. And then maybe even think about, if you can get those 4 quadrants down, think about as the breath comes in, you also feel movement downward toward the pelvic diaphragm. Now see if you can just slow the breath down just a little bit. As you slow the breath, see if you can relax your jaw. If you're not breathing in and out through your nose, see if you can add that. In and out through the nose. See if you can relax through your hips. We're going to really try and loosen up through the hips today. Okay, it looks like everybody here's in cross-legged pose. So let's stay in cross-legged pose. And then find your left hand and just put that down on the ground next to you. Engage your core just a little bit so you're really sitting up nice and straight. So if you feel yourself tipping back on your pelvis, see if you can rock the pelvis forward and find that low back curve. If you have to use your hands to kind of help you into that position, let's get that. Let's find that first. And then put the left hand down. So the left hand is down, the right hand's going to go straight up to the ceiling. Feel both sit bones on the ground. And then the right hand that's up is going to go to the left. And just lean gently to the left. Just seeing how that feels in your spine. And can you keep both sit bones on the ground? And then reach straight back up to the ceiling. And then bring that hand down. Let's do the other side. Left hand's going to go straight up. Both shoulders are nice and relaxed. Straight up feels good. You want to go a little farther, start your lean. Just keep those sit bones on the ground. Reach straight up and then down. Okay, left hand's on the ground. Right hand this time is going to reach across. So more of a twist, and just keep the shoulders relaxed and don't feel like you have to go super far. Just see what sort of twist you can get out of your spine with your hips kind of locked down in the seated position. Okay, and then let's go the other way. Left hand reaches across, shoulders are relaxed, not trying to reach high, just across. Just feeling how your spine wants to twist in this position. Is it allowing the twist? Okay, and then let's bring that hand in. Find your really upright sitting position. Hands can just relax on your knees. Think about your chest not rounding down, but moving straight forward in a straight plane. And what we want that to do is to sort of pull the hips along with it and keeping the spine a little straighter. And once you're kind of meet that barrier of where there's no more slack to be taken up, no more stretch to be had, see if you can relax through your hips and thighs. Anything being held there that you can let go of, and then see if you can go just a wee further. And then let's come back up. Now a seated cat-cow. So tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, stretch the spine into flexion, and then into extension. Press the chest out, lift chin up, shoulders back. Back into that C shape. Spread the shoulder blades apart. Okay, and then we'll come back into extension. And relax. Okay, look down and see what leg is in front. Swap them. Okay, left hand on the ground, right hand straight up and then over. Okay, and then straight back up, right hand down, left hand straight up and then over. And back up, left hand down, right hand across, feel the twist, soft shoulders, sit bones on the ground. Right hand comes back and on the ground, left hand reaches across, feeling that twist, just noting that end range, just barely meeting it. Deep breaths. Okay, left hand back. Okay, we'll sit up nice and tall. Think about the chest again, moving straight forward, pulling the back, pulling the hips. Take a breath or two, then see if you can soften anywhere else through the hips, through the thighs, through the calves. Okay, and let's come back up. And now let's cat-cow. Right, let's get at the inner thighs. Okay, so we're going to take a wide leg stance. You can turn sideways on your mat if you like. If you would like to keep your heels on the ground. Oh, cramp. Cramp. Okay, all right. Again, nice and tall. Use your hands to help you get into that nice tall position. Shake the legs out a little bit if you need to. Okay, again, we're going to think tall first and then chest straight forward on that plane of motion. We're not allowing the spine to round out. And as you push the chest forward, you'll likely feel the shift stretch into more of the inner thighs. That's what we're looking for. Okay. And then see if you can relax anything in the thighs. If you can put your thumb and first finger around your kneecap, if you can wiggle your kneecap back and forth, then you can try it, Lori. Yeah. Well, that's where we want to get. If we can get those kneecaps to just slide back and forth, that means you know you're getting your quads relaxed. Something to aspire to. Okay. Yeah. Would you please soften her up, Pam? Okay. Take a nice, long, deep inhale. On your exhale, see if you can soften into that stretch just a teensy bit more. Now let's walk the hands to the right. See what that does to your stretch. It doesn't have to be very far. Now let's walk back to the middle, then slowly over to the left. And then back to the center. See if that little extra stretch can allow you to go any deeper in the middle. Again, we're not trying to force anything. We're just noticing when we stretch the body in different ways, if we can access a little more range of motion, getting into those spaces and places that haven't gotten an appropriate amount of blood flow. Some hydration. Okay, let's walk back up to a straight position. Let's bring the feet together, knees up, and you can stay facing whatever direction you're facing because we're going to drop the knees to the right and then spread the knees out into a Z-sit. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to try and bring the body into as upright of a position as you can get because we're really challenging that internal external range of motion. If you feeling a catch anywhere, you don't want to force into that. Maybe try just to wiggle that space a little bit and see if your body can soften into it. If it doesn't soften into it, then don't bring your body as upright. Just respect where your body's at. Okay, so our knees are dropped to the right. So we're going to twist to the right. We're going to start with our hands in a more of a stretched out straight elbow position, lifting the chest. So we're kind of got our lower spine in a nice gentle twist. Again, soften through the hips and thighs. Think about lifting the chest, lifting the sternum up toward the ceiling. If you can even bring the chin, maybe even look to the ceiling if that feels comfortable. If it doesn't feel comfortable on your neck, then just look into a straightforward position, but try to avoid looking to the ground. Take some nice, deep, long, slow breaths in that twist, and then you're stretching from the inside out as well as from the outside in. Okay, so now you have an option. You can either stay in this upright stretch position or you can walk the hands forward and bring yourself into whatever depth of position. You can have your forehead all the way on the floor if you like. And just notice as you move your hands, as you walk your hands forward, where do you feel that stretch? How does that stretch change in your body? And are you honoring that just right stretch? Are you avoiding that no pain, no gain that is consistently being proven to not be effective? Pam, or do you have a Charlie horse over there? If you needed assistance, Caitlin's right next door. Yeah, if you cramp in any position, that means maybe you just want that space is all usually a cramp occurs when a part of the body is already kind of tight, and then you ask it to contract. You move into that shortened position, and it retaliates a little. So I've already had one. Pam's already had one. Probably won't be the last in our class today. It's good. It's information. Your body's giving you information. Soften through the face, the neck, the shoulders, the jaw. Okay. Slowly start to walk yourself back up into that outstretched arm position with the head up, looking forward. We're gonna keep the left hand or the right hand, sorry, on the ground. Okay, the left hand is going to rotate up and open up just gently. And then we're going to swing it back down and through, just seeing how far you can comfortably reach. And then we're going to open back up. We're just going to little dynamic flow here. Hmm? I don't think so. No, I'm keeping my arms straight. I don't think there's a right or wrong there if it feels like it's benefiting you. However, if you feel like you're compensating, then maybe not. But you look like you're a little even hyperextended in your elbow, or maybe it's just the angle. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Open up and down. Let's do one more open. One more reach through. And then find both arms outstretched again. Really lift toward the ceiling. And then do the teeniest of cat-cow. So tuck the hips, untuck, tuck, untuck. Okay, and then let's come back up to a seated position. We'll stretch the legs out straight. You can let your back round out. Windshield wiper a little bit. Okay, and we'll bring the knees back up. And we will drop them to the left and into the Z-sit. Okay, again, just seeing how that motion feels in your hips. If you need a little time, if you've got a little catch, try to wiggle it out. If you can't, just honor staying away from that depth of movement. Okay, we'll twist to the left. Outstretched arms, straight elbows, lifting through the sternum, through the chest. Even looking up to the ceiling if it feels comfortable. If not, just look straight ahead. Softening through the hips. Holding that upright position for a few breaths. And then either staying in the upright position or walking the hands forward, bringing your body closer to the mat. Either is okay. Whatever feels the most therapeutic to you today is where you want to be. Try to really sink into that position. Use your breath. Soften through the face, neck, shoulders, through the hips and thighs, even down to the feet. And then slowly walk yourself back up into that straight elbow position. Okay, and then we'll take the right hand, we'll sweep it up in the air. Oh, so gracefully, lovely, very nice. Open up. Okay, then forward, down, and underneath the armpit. Honor. Uh, did you just hit someone? Okay, let's open up. Let's open up. Okay. She just skimmed her and then down and reach through. Grazed her. That's the word I'm looking for. You grazed her. Love tap. Okay. Two more. Open up. Reach it through. Open up. And reach it through. And let's come back up to sitting. Stretch the legs out straight. Windshield wiper. Okay, let's do the right hip. Let's go on to the right hip. We'll do our sexy pose. You know you can't wait, Pam. Okay, so we're on our left hip. And we're pressing through that hand. So we're creating space from the armpit down to the hip. Well, the right leg, the bottom leg, is going to stretch out straight. Top leg can be behind that leg or in front of that leg. And then the top hip kind of rolls on top of the lower hip, left hip on top of the right hip. And then think about pointing the toe or pointing the heel, see what gives you the best gentle pull through this space. If that's hard on the wrist, you can all, sometimes I like to go with my elbow here. And then the top hand can find whatever space feels helpful. And you're just looking for a nice stretch through here, through that QL area that we just really don't. It gets compressed all day long when we sit, when we lift, gravity. That should really help your low spine, your low back, yeah. Well, all the hip stuff. This whole class is just for you. You are special. You can feel special because you are special. Low back stuff can be from lots of different things, but tight hips are just, especially when you tell me you've been, what'd you say, 18,000 steps? Nice. 19,444 steps in one day on hard, flat cement, probably surfaces. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to do a number on the joints. All right, let's slowly bring that knee back in. And we'll kind of stop in the middle, a little cat-cow maybe, a little gentle twist. You can definitely feel a difference from one side to the other. Okay, so we're on the left hip now. We're gonna stretch the left leg out straight. We're gonna stack the right hip on top of the left hip. Top leg can find its way into any position that feels helpful to get that just right stretch. Mm. All right, let's slowly from here, we'll just go on to the left side. You can go all the way down. You can have head on your hand, whatever feels best. Right hand's gonna reach back for that bottom foot. Right hand to left foot for a front of the hip stretch, bottom foot. Right, there you go. So this is cat pulls the tail stretch or something like that. And the top leg can stretch out straight, it can stay bent, it can get into the action, however feels therapeutic for you. Okay, then let's swing around to the other side. You can either just roll onto your right side or swing it around however you want to. Okay, so the top hand, the left hand's going to reach for the bottom right foot. We're going to do hamstrings next. We'll get those hammies. Okay, now if you can find your strap, we're going to roll onto our backs. So let's start by lassoing one foot. I've got my right foot. The left knee can be up or straight on the ground. One of the things you really want to pay attention to in this stretch is you want to make sure you're not flattening your back. So if you want to tuck one hand underneath your low back, you can. Otherwise, just maintain that. You can also put a blanket or a towel under there if you have one at home. Okay, so we're going to keep the knee straight, and we're just going to pull the leg upright until you feel a nice stretch. Now that stretch might be in the back of the knee, it might be up high in the hamstring, it might be more in the calf, it might even be in the foot or the heel. You're going to feel it in your body where you're the tightest. But this is one good way to get that whole fascial line, which people often feel as hamstring tightness. But because if I watch where my leg is right now, Lori asked, why don't you want your back flat? Okay, so if I have my low back curve in place here, this is all the farther I can get my hamstring. If I let my back go flat, that's not hamstring stretch, that's my pelvis tilting because my back is pushing to the ground. So it's a way to keeping your low back curve in place assures that your hips stay put and so that you're getting a true stretch of the hamstring. Okay, we're going to keep that gentle depth of stretch and then just make little circles with your leg. It's like you're drawing little circles with your toes. Toes, whatever. Okay, and then go both directions. Okay, and then go back to your stretch. See if you can get just a teeny bit more. And then let's go side to side. Just gently in toward the center midline and then out to the side. And then go back to the center and see maybe you get a teeny bit more. Okay, and then let's let that leg go down. And just do a little windshield wiper with the knees. Let the blood flow get back in there. Okay, and then let's lasso the left side. Okay, find that little bit of low back curve, just see how far you can go. And you might make a mental note if you can move one side significantly less or more than the other side. That's a clue of something that you can be working on throughout the week. As we want to create that symmetry in the body. Nice deep, slow breaths, softness in the leg, noticing where you feel the stretch. Okay, little teeny circles. In both directions. Okay, and then go back to your stretch. Just see if you can achieve just a little bit more. And then in and out. In toward the center, the midline, and then open. Not great big movements. We're just trying to make sure we're pulling into that ham, that especially those attachments. the fascia portion in different ways, not always thinking linear and center. Okay, and then see if you could get a teeny bit farther. Okay, let go of that, and then we'll turn on to our stomachs. Starting all the way flat if you need to. If your spine can tolerate being up on your elbows, you can start there. Maybe rocking a little bit side to side, one elbow to the other. Pretend that your hip bones are stuck to the mat. So you're stretching from the hip bones up. Bend the knees, add a little more pull into that deep front line. Maybe walk the elbows in one direction. And then the other direction. Okay, back to the center. Really push down through the elbows, lift the chest. If that feels okay in your spine. All right, let's find our way onto our backs. And let's start by hugging the knees to the chest, making yourself really small, squeezing everything, and then stretching out straight and softening. As you start to find that softness, start with the muscles around your eyes. Can you actively soften the muscles around your eyes, the muscles of your cheeks, your jaw, the neck? See if you can allow your shoulders to melt and just get a little bit more supported by the mat. And your arms. Allow your arms to be heavy on the mat. Bring your attention to your rib cage along your spine and see if you can just feel the ribs sinking into the mat, being supported. And the hips, the glutes, softening into the mat. And noticing where your legs are supported by the mat, all the way down to your heels. Notice the front of your legs, the top of your legs. They are also supported by the mat. front of your body, relaxed, softening onto the rest of your body. Bless you. And take just one or two more long, slow, soft, lazy, deep breaths. All right, then let's slowly start working ourselves up into any seated position that feels comfortable to you. All right, let's take one more big breath together. Sweeping the arms up, and then hands to heart and namaste. I hope you feel great tonight. And you all feel great tonight. Thank you, online folks, for joining us.